Welcome to IAS Market Talk, your trusted source for timely ag market insights, brought to you by Innovative Ag Services. Each week, we break down the latest beef market trends impacting Northeast Iowa and Southwest Wisconsin, with expert updates tailored specifically for our IAS members. This week, you'll hear directly from Dave Reuber, IAS Beef Production Specialist, who brings decades of experience and deep knowledge of the cattle industry to these conversations. Dave has been providing market updates to producers for years, and now he's bringing those insights straight to you through this podcast. Tune in weekly for what you need to know straight from people you know. With that, here's Dave Reuber with the latest on what's happening in the cattle markets this week.
David Reuber, Beef Production Specialist for Innovative Ag, calling with a beef market commentary for December 3rd. You know, nobody will accuse the cattle business of not being interesting. We had another wild ride here the last 7 days. You know, last week that cattle market was picking up some steam last Wednesday and Friday. You know, the bids kind of 208 to 210 were acting stronger. Not a lot of cattle sold. This week comes rolling around. There hasn't been many moves yet, but this market's got some wheels underneath it now. Looking like we're going to be in the high teens, maybe 220. The South is asking for 225. Nothing's traded yet, so these are all kind of guesstimates at this point in time. But it feels like either side at 220, so a full $10 better than what that thing was the last 2 weeks. So yeah, talk about a wild ride. These markets, you know, especially when they're thinly traded, they struggle to know where the heck they should be at, and that's kind of where we're at now. Good news is some of these pens are going to lose some money. That market coming back to 220 gets some cattle back on the plus side of things. Feeder cattle have come roaring back as well. There was some sale barns that quoted prices as $10 to $30 higher than they had been at their sale the week or two before that. So yeah, feeder cattle right back. Some of these calves, you know, kind of not far away from what the highs were a month and a half ago. You know, a good 6-weight steer is going to be $4 again, you know, the good Western ones. 8-weight steers had gotten down into that 320 range. They're back into the 330s, pushing 340. Break evens on some cattle that got placed in, you know, a week or two ago kind of got under 220. Now we're back up there not far from 230 for a break even on these cattle that we're placing. Futures markets come roaring back as well. You know, don't sleep on that thing. It'll be up 10, down 10 in a week. So if you're on the right side of it, you feel good at the end of the week. If you're on the wrong side of it, obviously, you probably put a drink in your hand on Friday night. You know, it's one of those, it's just kind of a wild deal. If you catch the thing on the right side of the market, you feel okay about it. You know, we're going to sell some cattle 2-3 months from now that are going to be some pretty tough break evens. But, you know, we're closing out the year by the looks of it, going to be okay. The thing feels like it's trending a little bit higher. Normally it kind of does work a little bit better going into the holidays. So, yeah, kind of cautiously optimistic that we've put our bottom in and got this thing kind of working better. Cost of gains inching up a little bit with this weather starting to come in. I'm figuring just under $1 for steer cost of gains and $1.05 for heifer cost of gains. Just a comment, since we're record cold temperatures coming in on Thursday, you know, obviously just remember water, got to get those waters broke free if they're froze up. Your intakes will go to heck if you keep those cattle away from, you know, if they're on a frozen water tank for 6 hours, you got problems. So obviously that, bed the heck out of these cattle. That's the big thing. And, you know, don't be afraid to add an extra half a pound of hay into a diet when we get these really stressful 20 below zero wind chill type days. A little extra roughage helps the cause there. Once again, my name is David Reuber, Beef Production Specialist for Innovative Ag. Thank you.
That's it for this week's episode of IAS Market Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an update. And if you know a fellow producer who could benefit from this information, share this episode with them. For more updates and insights, visit innovativeag.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll catch you next time on IAS Market Talk.
Are you ready for a hands-on role with purpose? Join the facility operations team at Innovative Ag Services, where we value hard work, safety, and community. With locations across Northeast and Central Iowa and Southwest Wisconsin, we offer industry-leading benefits, on-the-job training, and a culture that supports your growth. From competitive pay to a uniform allowance, we invest in our team. Grow with IAS and discover your co-opportunity. Apply today at innovativeag.com.